I'm so glad you're here today. I hope you enjoy the information being shared by my alter ego about the silent war we've been in for a very long time now. Let's begin. This enemy has been called the Cabal, the deep state, shadow government, globalists, etc. They are the self-proclaimed elites, which are a group of individuals tied together through countless and revolving doors of government, finance, industry, military intelligence, and secret societies. Years ago, comedian George Carlin stated, "It's a big club, and you ain't in it." Humanity is in fact at war with an enemy that many people aren't even aware of. But today, more people are learning to take statements like this quite seriously. Back then, his audiences usually dismissed it as just another joke and laughed it off. In David Rockefeller's 2002 autobiography, Memoirs, he made this statement. "Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal, working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists, conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will, that's the charge. I stand guilty and proud of it." This document describes the advanced biotech, nanotech, smart dust, bio and chemical warfare, microwave and EMF radiation, and frequency warfare. In this document, Dennis Bushnell is bringing everything out into the open for us to think about. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars is a manual that was presented at the first annual Bilderberg meeting in 1954. You can find this at Forbidden Knowledge TV. The Bilderberg Group represents a vast portion of the world's wealth, vital commodities, information, and media influence. They meet in complete secrecy once a year, in the world's finest hotels, but what I'd like to point out is that these nefarious plans are well known by the good guys or White Hat Alliance, and they are already several steps ahead of the game, meaning it's not going to happen. The reason I am even sharing this information is to make sure people become aware of our real enemies and what self-serving psychopaths they really are. Although it's targeted towards Russia for media purposes, the real objective is the further subjugation of the people of their own countries. This agenda is failing on every front, economically, socially, and morally, and convention centers. To discuss their plans for us, the mere peasants of the world, it's time everyone realize who the enemy really is, how they're deceived us for so long, and make sure it never happens again. Ignoring the truth only allows a corrupt system to continue robbing us of our natural human rights. It's definitely time for us to unite and create a better world together, as we choose truth, justice, and freedom for ourselves and all future generations. How can one stop an attack from a cloud of thousands of single, individually minded mosquitoes or other swarms, intent to destroy systems, objects, habitats, or people? No, they do not have our best interests in mind, only what is beneficial for their own self-serving needs. The truth goes deeper than most people seem to realize. The real war the globalists are fighting is against the citizens of every country on Earth. As the pandemic atrocity continues to be exposed, the repression of the people is the only option open to the New World Order. Deep state government, as usual. With these sociopaths, a war abroad is the best excuse to impose tyranny at home. The Western neoliberal governments of America, Canada, Australia, and most of Europe cannot afford to be removed from power. The document, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, represents the doctrine adopted by the Policy Committee of the Bilderberg Group, and an original document, dated May 1979, was found on July 7, 1986, in an IBM copier, which had been purchased at a surplus sale. This group is made up of globalist eugenicists who masquerade as the saviors, leaders, and philanthropic heroes. They plot global genocide, which must be undertaken subtly, silently, and gradually. Of course, this sounds like nothing more than dramatic fiction, but those who research it will learn it is all quite true. Another document, speaking of this agenda against the human population, is called Future Strategic Issues, Future Warfare, which was published in 2011 by Dennis M. Bushnell, a chief scientist at NASA's Langley Research Center, and that these advanced war technologies are not something we can live with. Here's an excerpt from this document. The bots, Borgs, and humans welcome you to 2025. AD nanobots and swarms create a whole different scenario, where all large war objects become vulnerable to disabling attacks. I realize this information can be quite disturbing, especially if you're learning these things for the first time. For far too long, people have looked up to these entities as working for our best interest, which couldn't be further from the truth. The Russia-Ukraine conflict is a good example of their treachery. The tragic and unnecessary conflict in the Ukraine was devised to be their Great Reset war. Every day, more people are realizing something isn't right about this world of constant chaos, death, and destruction. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll come back for upcoming videos. Have a wonderful day or evening, wherever you are in this beautiful world of ours. If you'd like to learn more on your own, please check out a book I wrote and published back in October 2022 called Decades of Deception by Don Parrish, which can be found on Amazon. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos.